What is up, guys? Point and click and sure hits is something I just want to have a chat about and give my opinion on what the game currently looks like sometimes. Because in this game I was up against Stored Power, up against Slowbro Unite Move, up against Ice Spear, and Liquidation. And it just feels like they keep on just making too many point and click moves, right? But why are point and click moves great? Because they're first easy to play, right? Point and click moves are very accessible, which is great for mobile that's trying to be more casual. Also, it's much easier for, controller players or even mobile players. Like, just having point and click moves with these kind of controls when you don't have a mouse, right? Makes a lot of sense because they're much, much easier. But I feel like at this point, it's just getting way too much in Unite. There's way too many Pokemon. Almost every single Pokemon that gets released has some sort of point and click move that does way too much damage. Now, Inteleon being the latest, not even Inteleon is the latest offender. It's actually Mewtwo. We have Psy Strike and Future Sight with only basic attacks as well. Funny enough, I'm also playing Outrage Dragonite in this game, which, I mean, auto attacks are pretty much the same kind of thing, sort of point and click. But I feel like it's not just clicking one button on one opponent and that person just dies, right? Liquidation, Ice Spear, Stored Power, you just press one button and that's it. So I feel like it's a bit different. But yeah, Mewtwo as well. Mewtwo with the Future Sight and also with Psy Strike, it's just point and click, your half your HP disappears, and that's it. Leafeon has a few more skill shots, which I like as well. So we have a lot of skill shots on Leafeon. But then the Unite move is also just point and click. You jump onto someone, bam. But I think Leafeon is quite fine when it comes to that. Leafeon is broken due to other things. But then Inteleon, and when you play against this, it just doesn't be fun to get point and clicked on. Also, Slowbro Unite move is one of the biggest offenders of this as well. Every time I play against Slowbro Unite, I just hate it so much. I wish more of those moves would be skill shots there. Like Telekinesis, right? Telekinesis is a fair move. It's just straight up pretty much a Slowbro Unite move, but it can be cancelled. It's a skill shot and other things as well. I thought this game was quite funny because there was a death. Like I was talking about in this game, how they have so much point and click, it makes it very hard for me to live. I think it's just the problem that you can't really outplay much. And I was talking about like, oh, they only have point and click, and then you're gonna see something funny happening. But yeah, I think the only big counterplay you have is Shedinja, right? That's why I'm a bigger fan, or like a big fan of Shedinja lately, because it allows you to dodge Ice Spear, it allows you to dodge Inteleon's Liquidation, it allows you to dodge Psy Strike, All those moves actually get outplayed by Shedinja because you just stand still. Right here as well, like I literally just got Stored Powered into Liquidation, and I'm pretty much just gone. Like it feels so difficult for like a melee or for someone who has low HP to play the game and not just go down. Right now, Inteleon is where you pretty much can, on any attacker or speedster, you do one basic attack into Liquidation with 2 passive stacks up, which is easy to get because, Fasting has no cooldown anymore. Acrobatic is also still fine. It's quite easy to get your passive stacks up, and you're just gone. You're just instantly gone. And it just doesn't feel fun. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're getting outplayed or outskilled, right? You're just like, yeah, so they clicked 3 moves on me or 2 moves, and I'm just gone. Is that really something that you guys are a big fan of? I think Blaziken is not going to have a lot of those things, but then we also still have Mewtwo Y coming out, which is another very point-and-click heavy Pokemon. Of course, basic attacks as well. Psy Strike, Future Sight, it's pretty much the same Pokemon. So Psy Strike also, it might also do a lot of damage on Mewtwo Y because it's a special attack Pokemon, right? It's an attacker. But in the end as well, I mean, Outrage Dragonite is kind of similar, I would say. So it's just a lot of point-and-click, which again, I think it makes sense in this game. But I don't know, like, I just don't feel like it's very reasonable to just make every single Pokemon have point and click now, right? Every single one. Every evolution as well. I mean, I guess Leafeon doesn't have a point and click sure hit in the basic moves, but the Unite move of course is, right? But then every Eevee had to have like Stored Power, Ice Spear, Icy Wind, Mystic Fire. All of those are just point and click. Umbreon as well. Oh yeah, we haven't even talked Umbreon yet. Mean Look. I just don't understand how Mean Look is something that should be in the game. You just press the button on someone. Back then, the only really big point-and-click thing that was super annoying was like Take a Pikachu, I would say. Like Take a Pikachu is also still very painful. But in the end, it only stuns now anymore. It doesn't really do damage, at least, compared to other things. Like Ice Spear just straight up, gets you. And that's pretty much it. So Take used to be like the most annoying thing when it comes to point-and-click. But now I feel like just everything is just point-and-click. There's so many things. And I think if Zeraora would nowadays come out as a Pokemon, right? If Zeraora was released now, I'm pretty sure I can guarantee you Wild Charge would be a point-and-click ability. Tell me if I'm wrong. If Wild Charge was a thing now, if Zeraora was released on the current patch on the current time, Wild Charge would be just a point-and-click ability. You click onto your opponents, A lot of people don't know it's actually a skill shot. Wild Charge and Zaura is a skill shot. You have to hit it. And if you miss it, you're done for. Which is good. Like, you should be able to outplay things, right? You should be able to be like, oh, this guy, I can try to dodge, I can try to move a tiny bit, and it should feel, you know, you should feel rewarded for, you know, dodging things. And it just doesn't feel like it. Outrage Dragon Knight, also pretty fun though, just basic attacking. Or these like basic attack builds are also like, I don't know if I like their design. I feel like Mewtwo in general. Mewtwo is just not a good design Pokemon, right? It's pretty much just pure point and click, which I just hate. It's just everything about it is point and click. It doesn't have a single bit of, like, it doesn't really feel like it's challenging to play, which when a new Pokemon comes out, of course it doesn't have to be too challenging, because again, Unite tries to be casual friendly, and right here, this is the scenario. Like, look at this death right here. I got clicked on by 3 moves and I'm just gone. There was no way of dodging anything of those. There was no counterplay to it. Of course, there's some counterplay to these moves actually, which a lot of people don't know, but you can buddy block them, right? If you go in front of Liquidation, if you go in front of Icicle Spear, they don't pierce, you can block it for your allies. Of course, this demon takes a lot of damage. Same for Mewtwo Side Strike. A lot of people don't know you can actually block the Side Strike of Mewtwo. If the Side Strike flies out, like that big orb that knocks people up, if you run in front of it to block it for your ally, that person takes damage and gets stunned for a bit, but the knockup doesn't happen and the stun is much shorter. So you can stop this entire knockup from happening in teamfights, which is very, very important. But still, like, it's just, to me, it feels like a problem. Do you guys think the point and click things are a problem? We just went through Icicle Spear meta, right? And now we're going to Liquidation meta. So we pretty much just went, when it comes to attacker Pokemon as well, from one point and click Pokemon to the next one. I mean, they did overbuff Icicle Spear for absolutely no reason, right? And now Liquidation. I mean, I consider Inteleon to be completely broken. I know a lot of people are not sure about it yet, but it's for sure an absolutely insane Pokemon that does way, way too much damage, right? Liquidation is absolutely insane. It took a bit on release day to figure out how insane Liquidation really was, but once you figured out how to play this Pokemon, which, I mean, again, it wasn't really too much either, you just have to play a bit more safe because you're quite squishy. Liquidation just does way too much damage, and I want them to not make more attacker Pokemon like this. I really, here's Will again. Here, Espeon, or I could have been behind Espeon, or Espeon could have blocked it for me. I could have walked behind it and be totally fine. But yeah, just 2 Liquidations and I'm just fully gone. I want attacker to be just more skillful, you know, like Psyshock, Psybeam, Espeon. I think that's very good. Ninetales with the combo, right? It's very good. Pikachu with the Thunderbolt Thunder is very good. Like, those things. I think Gardevoir is a great design Pokemon as well. Of course, the problem is, like, always when it comes to mobile, I feel like the point and click circuits are still not good either, or the circuits you put on the ground. Like Thunderbolt Thunder, Future Sight, they're very challenging to play, but I feel like it's also not a good design. But I want more like line skill shots, right? So Snipe Shot again, or just in general, just make me hit an ability before, you know, it even does something. I think Hyper Voice is also a great solution for something like this instead of being just point and click. So there's a lot of things I feel like you could be doing, but they're just like, I feel like they might just become lazy. It just feels, a lot feels like a copy now, right? I mean, Liquidation, Icicle Spear, Side Strike, they're all kind of the same thing. You just press onto an opponent, channel some damage, and that's it. Like, it's boring, right? It's boring. There should be a few more things made for this game that are actually fun abilities. So I think Greninja's also probably like, that's a pretty decent design character, right? Greninja, Surf, Water Shuriken, all skill shots. Of course, it has basic attacks. Basic attacks are sure hits. But, you know, it's easier to play around basic attacks than anything else, I would say. They don't do too much damage. I think that is totally fair. The Sidroy, I mean, Razor Leaf is point and click, but Spirit Check is pretty fun as well. What's a good example? I feel like Hyper Voice Sylveon is a good example. I think Hyper Voice Sylveon is very unique. It's very fun. It still does the job. It doesn't feel unfair because you just get clicked on, right? I think that is very, very cool. Like, Liquidation could also just be, like, you know, in a row skill, like you aim it towards the right side and you shoot and you move during it. If some of you know Lucian Ultimate from League of Legends, pretty much like this. They could have made Liquidation just that, right? Just like in a line, it shoots and then you can run out of it and dodge it as well, instead of just like shooting you across the entire map without any counterplay to it, because you cannot dodge it. So I just want to get this off my chest because it has been very annoying lately, having to deal with those things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you agree that it's, you know, a bit too much. We still end up carrying this game with another point-and-click Pokemon. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this topic, and if you think it's good or bad for Unite in general. And don't forget to like and subscribe.